Well, welcome to the realm of Millenia. Be ye man, woman, child, spirit, creature, or maybe even, that's right, maybe even a demon. Be ye a native migrator, or maybe even a transverser. What? An invader. Maybe even an invader into the realm. I guess I'm sick and more than just my immune system right now. Yeah. Yep, the winter season does that. The winter season does that. I guess my whole body is starting to shut down and making me terrible. I know I sound terrible. Yes, I am still sick. Get over it. I guess. Power through her. Still trying to go on my regularly scheduled walks for these Monday videos. But yeah, welcome to the realm. I am your host, the Millenia Mailman, here today on this mild Mailman Monday. The Devil's Advocate hot take for the week. Yes, it is week 15. The Devil's Advocate hot take for the week is, in fact, about responsibility. So, what is it? Yes, week 15 Devil's Advocate take is that responsibility without the corresponding authority to act as you deem necessary with minimal to no oversight is just slavery. It's pretty much just slavery. Let me redo that. I know my voice is shot, but I can do better than that. Welcome to the realm. Oh, sheesh. Try again. Welcome to the realm of Millenia. Be ye man, woman, child, spirit, creature, demon. Be ye a native migrator, or maybe even an invader into the realm. Whew. I am your host today, the Millenia Mailman, here to share with you the Devil's Advocate Week 15 hot take that responsibility without corresponding authority with minimal to no oversight is just slavery. Now, the whole argument behind that is the fact that, by definition, in all honesty, that if responsibility, in order to be responsible for something, you need to have the corresponding authority to act on it, to act on that which you are considered responsible for, right? So if you're not actually in control of the situation that you're judged and deemed responsible for, because anything you're responsible for, you also are equally responsible for bearing the consequences of your actions. You're always responsible and held to the proper corresponding consequences of your actions, be they good and you get rewarded, or bad. But if you're not actually in control of the situation, then what exactly are you responsible for? That's right, you're not responsible for anything. They can say you're responsible, but when someone says you're responsible for something you have no control and authority over, that's actually them just rigging the judges to make you the exclusive, predetermined, predetermined bearer of consequences, because you're not about to get any of the reward on this piece of pie, right? You're just the de facto bearer of the bad news, if and whenever the bad news comes back around. You are the bearer of the consequences in this rigged jury line assembly of the corresponding punishments, whatever they be, however they be. If you're held responsible for something you have no control or authority over, it's a rigged game. And unless you know how to properly articulate yourself and separate yourself using the rigged game's jargon and wording, you will always be held accountable for your actions and deeds without actually being responsible for the things that took place. So it is a rigged game. Anytime responsibility is being tossed out there and such, because I'm sorry, that's just simply a fact. And it is unfortunate, but it's the truth. Happens all the time, happens every day, and there's no one about to be fixing that anytime soon. It's just sheerly fact. But yeah, that's the devil's advocate hot take for me. Responsibility without the corresponding authority is just slavery. More into that, kind of like what's a buzzword example? An example of that would be like child support, even. That's making its rounds. Child support, it's a rigged game. It doesn't only affect men, don't be stupid. Child support is a rigged game that can affect both men and women, because you're being held responsible on both sides. There are people held responsible for things they have no authority or control over, but certain clauses in the legal system and law that you as a normal person or even a hardworking person would never be able to understand and know, to be able to articulate yourself as not the person to be punished and hold responsible consequence for the authority and actions of other people. Child support is one of those things, because there are cases where women, even lesbian relationship women, are held accountable and financially liable for the upbringing of a child who was adopted and then kept by the partner. Because there are cases where the lesbian relationship, they weren't even married or anything. They were just like common law marriage or whatever. Clauses holds them liable, and because they can't properly, in the best jargon, articulate themselves to exonerate themselves from the liability and the ties, they're stuck on for pretty much the next 20 years to life for whatever happened, regardless of whether or not they were actually responsible for the thing. They can be seen as responsible and thus the bearer of consequences, right? And then there's the other side from dudes that also bitch, moan, and complain about it, where certain cases where the dude can prove he's not even the biological father of the child and thus wants to exonerate himself, but because they cannot articulate themselves or give a proper, good enough explanation, sucks to suck. That's the consequences and responsibility you're taking on now, because we can label you as such and you fucking suck. Pardon the language. I said fruck, but I probably said it fast enough for it to sound like the real curse word, where sucks to suck, but go ahead. That's too darn bad on the guy's side as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I got no voice. I do apologize. But it's not going to stop me from making the expected videos. But too bad, so sad. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the hot take of the week. Responsibility without authority, the corresponding authority, and minimal to no oversight is just another form of slavery. And deal with it however you so choose fit. But hey, that's just me. I'm Millenia Mailmen here. Hope you enjoyed. If you like or agree with anything I had to say, go ahead, press the like button and prove it. Put a comment down in the comment section down below. your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Share the video for more exposure, and subscribe if you feel like it. Or don't, that's fine too. But by all means, peace.